I did this time. Take two.
Welcome back to the throne room.
Trying this again. That's pretty loud. You did pretty good.
Thank you.
Welcome back to the throne room. This week I got my girlfriend on again. We're in our portable studio. Her portable studio. The second time that we're here at her apartment. It's not bad. Not bad. Like the get up. Let's see. I don't think we have any, kind of anything cleanup related. So how's quarantine treating you?
I'm doing fantastic. I'm not minding being to myself.
Really?
Yep. I can see one person and be fine for the rest of the week. And that one person is you, so rip everyone else.
Well, that's the goal, right? You're not trying to see anyone else. Who else are you trying to see?
My millions of friends.
Yeah, right.
My followers.
Yeah, right.
So.
Yeah, right.
You
have meet and greets.
Of course.
No, I'm kind of the same way. But the weird thing though is I'm like a very social person.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? So, but like it's weird that I'm not like in so much need for like people's attention. Yeah. Like I really think I could go like a solid like 2.5, 3 weeks without seeing anybody.
Like seeing one person.
Yeah, 2.5, 3 weeks. I literally like, but I mean I've stayed, like last year. Again, like last year I lived with 4 dudes, but we all had our own room, and I shared a bathroom with this kid. Shout out to George Leininger. So I shared a bathroom with this kid, and so on the weekends it would just be me and him, the kid I shared a bathroom with, and the other 2 guys would go home or whatever. And so I would literally be in my room all weekend from like Friday, and I would only have one class Friday typically, and it was early. It was like 7:40, so I would come home after that class and sleep. Sometimes maybe I'd watch a movie, and it was bad. After we had, and it was always calculus. It was the Friday morning. So if we had tests that morning on Friday, I would come back and sleep, and I would just not leave my room. I just wouldn't leave at all. And,
But that makes sense because you went to school, like got your fill of like people in class, and then like, but this is like
I really only talk to like, 5, 6, 7 people tops.
Yeah, but you got your interaction. Yeah. Or like this, like, you're not interacting with anyone.
Yeah, but like I said, that's where I feel most comfortable. However, even in those like 3 days or whatever it was in my in my room, I felt like I was going a tad bit crazy.
Well,
just a little bit.
Confined to your room.
Yeah, it's just like there's that weird thing, that comes out in your head where you're like, I need to see some humans.
I don't think I've ever had that.
Yeah, like
I haven't ever been like confined to like just my room.
I think your body goes crazy if you just like don't see a human.
Well, like when I was at DBU, last year?
Yes.
Last year, I had a roommate, so like I was always seeing someone, and then this year I have Alyssa, but this is like the only point that like she's not here and she's gone home.
Right.
So maybe it's just I've never like, I don't know.
I mean. Yeah.
Unless I just don't mind it, which I think it's just,
This is a nice setup though. You got a full kitchen, a full size fridge, a full size bathroom with a shower. I mean, we're set for life. Mm-hmm. Now your room, I will say, is a lot smaller than mine is. Like my room, my apartment down the street. Mm-hmm. I mean, bigger. It's like twice the size as your bedroom, and the bathroom's the same size.
But mine's nicer. I
don't even know about that. Like, my desk is way nicer than yours.
I don't like the way your desk... Like, I was thinking about that because when you were at your apartment, I was like, I wonder if, like, he wants to rearrange his room. But I was like, he can't even move his desk. Like, your desk is stuck there.
That's okay, though. That's fine.
No, that would, like, drive me nuts. Like, because I'm always... speaking of which, I just changed my room around again for, like, I don't know, 3rd or 4th time. Because, like, that's something I need to do. Like, I can't... It can't be the same way, like, all the way through.
You got to change it up.
It's got to switch up.
Yeah.
So, like, the fact that the desk is stuck, and, like, if you moved your bed, I don't know if it would, like, turn the other way.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's like with everything else, But see, the thing with my desk is like, you know, it is stuck. Like you can't move it because it's built in.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like I have everything here and it's big. It's not like it doesn't like wobble either. It's big and then it has like shelves to put like stuff. And then there's like a whole nother side desk right here. And then my window is right above that.
That you never open? Or did you
Oh
open
no,
it?
I open it when it's like sunny. When it's rainy, I'll just leave it blacked out.
See,
I
like
have
when
my
it was
LEDs
raining
on.
earlier, I opened my windows because I like to hear, like, it was cold. Like, it got very cold in here, but, like, I liked hearing the rain outside. Yeah. Am I speaking too soft for you?
Maybe.
Sorry.
Maybe you are. No, but I really, I'm kind of like that whole. I mean, that's literally my office now. I'm working out of it. I'm doing homework out of it, and I love it. Because I can have something on. So, like in my bed, if I'm laying like on my back on my bed, like my TV's right in front of me, so I can, watch whatever I want to. But when I'm up in about doing work or whatever. I'll just leave like a podcast on YouTube or something, and I'll just kind of like listen to that as background noise, and do homework at my desk, and then I have plenty of room to do aesthetic work, like
Have a dance party.
Yeah, I mean I could do a freaking cartwheel in there.
And then break something.
Yeah, and then poop. And then I have LEDs in my bathroom too, so it's like all vibey in there. Yeah.
Adriana, my sister, just got LEDs, and she I'm so jealous now. I want to like rearrange mine, but she put them like on top and like line the top of her room, and it looks so nice. Like she put them all the way around, and now I'm thinking.
I don't like how I can see that. I don't want to be able to see them.
It was like. I don't know. It like obviously lights the room up more because stuff isn't being blocked like my desk. But I liked the way it looked. It hurt my eyes kind of certain lightings, but like I think it looked nice. Yeah, like I might try it.
No, I mean it looks good now. The way it looks better now than it did. You got that curtain or whatever. Yeah. I just really think that there's a lot of people out there that don't have it as good as we do. Like you think about how and like. For those of you who have been listening to this for the last, couple weeks, ever since we restarted, I mean, you'll know that like I'm a kid that's like, in college, but I'm not like an average college kid. Most college students aren't like pulling their own weight and like putting themselves through college. And if you are, like, mad respect, because I know what that is. So like, most college kids that maybe you're putting yourself through college and you're in like a dorm and you don't have anywhere else to go other than your dorm.
You're stuck.
Like, where do you go?
One of my friends in my astronomy class, she stayed and she's just been like stuck in her dorm. So I don't even know if she's like left. And she says she doesn't even have a window actually in her room. So it's just like pitch black.
She's just in a jail cell. Mm-hmm. It's a jail.
Mm-hmm. And I don't know if maybe she like didn't want to go home or whatever, but she's still here. And
it's a jail. It's literally a jail cell, And
I don't think she has a car, so
no,
she's stuck.
Well, that's the thing, right? So like, if you're putting yourself through school and you're in a dorm and maybe you have like, you got to work somehow, right? So maybe you have a job at like, Bahama Bucks and you're shaving ice,
Chick-fil-A.
Yeah, or and that's maybe I don't know if you're getting more hours or not. I don't know the dynamic. I'd like to talk to somebody about that. But I mean, for me, it's like I'm not getting the amount of hours I should be right now. But that's because we're getting a lot of homework too.
Right.
We're getting a lot more homework now than we were before all this started.
Yeah. And maybe someone could get more hours, but they're now being backed up with all the homework and stuff. So
that's what I'm saying. So then they can't pay for stuff. See, I'm good now. I don't want to say I'm set because anything could happen, and something could fall through. But I'm good. I mean, I'm good for now. I can last for a good while.
Yeah.
Just because and if come on, if I needed. Something, Grant would pull through. Shout out to my boss. He would pull through and he'd give me some hours.
Well, not everyone has that luxury.
No, not everyone has. I'm in a really good place,
right,
job wise. So.
And I can't speak because I don't work. Shout out mom and dad.
Yeah, I mean, you don't need to. Yeah.
I've been blessed enough not to have to work, but
Yeah.
so I have no idea how that's going.
I think getting a job is good for anybody, even if you don't need it.
No, for sure. Like my little sister, she's like been wanting to go work, and I did kind of towards like the end of high school get a job, and it was good experience like having that, but like, and now obviously I'm looking to like internships for future stuff, but it is very good experience to have because it's like if you've never worked and then you go and try and like, I don't know, work.
Anybody
shocked.
Anybody needs that.
Right.
Everybody needs. Like, and this is another thing. I'm at like the people that like guys like Justin Bieber, and I'm not trying to say that like people in like Hollywood or like the music industry that just were just so popular and famous and had all this success so early. Mm-hmm. Those people are a little bit psycho. In fact, they're a lot of bit psycho.
Why?
They don't know how the world works. Like Justin Bieber, or like Macaulay Culkin.
Never had to like
is a good example.
business.
I'm not saying that they don't work hard. Mm-hmm. I'm just saying you're not on the same planet as everybody else. Because let's like look at Charli D'Amelio.
It's a different kind of like they've figured out how to work per se in like the world that we live in. So like Charli D'Amelio did it right,
or somebody figured out how to work them,
or that
without them knowing it, and they think it's all because of them.
Right.
And when it there's going to be a point in Charli D'Amelio's life where, maybe not, because like there was a point where Justin Bieber kind of fell off. Mm-hmm. And you got to wonder what that does to somebody's like psyche, because for your entire life all you've known is success, and you've never known failure. You've never known having to like pick yourself back up and like figure out what the next step is, what the next move is. And, everyone's saying that they love you and that you're like this God king, right? This God child. And all of a sudden you lose that. And it's like, well, now I am literally nothing in my own mind. Like I have like no self-esteem. And I'm just speculating here.
Well, and then they write songs about it, and then they're fun. Because then those songs become hits.
Yeah, I mean, that's the correct approach. But I'm just saying, like, like guys like Macaulay Culkin, like it can really mess you up when you're such a huge child star. He was in Home Alone. Mm-hmm. Such a huge child star. You're going to hanging out with Michael Jackson, okay? Right. Which that's a whole other conversation that probably
we're
needs
not going to talk about.
I'm not going to talk about
we're
Michael Jackson. Don't touch kids. Let's just stop in it there. Yeah, I mean, like when you fall off, when you're not getting signed for movies, when nobody's casting you in any movies, and like
where do you go from
what's
there?
your life, because you skip school, like same thing with Greta Thunberg. She's not getting an education anymore. She's just skipping school for climate change, and it's not helping. Right.
So
and
what's she gonna do?
what are you doing? Yeah, and it's like when the news media that's using her to push the climate change agenda, which I'm not saying climate change isn't real. I'm just saying that there is definitely an agenda, and when they stop using Greta whatever her name is, Thunberg for that, what's her purpose in life?
I don't know. What's she gonna do?
She got to figure something out. You got to be a little bit psycho.
Probably.
You got to be a little bit psycho, and that's why it's so important to get a job as soon as possible. As soon as you can work, get a job. As soon as you can, even if you don't need the money. Like I didn't need the money when I got my first job. I didn't need it.
Well, and that just depends how, like, I feel like your dad, like, he did it right in that he's like, you need to work up your work ethic. But, like, some people just, like, aren't raised like that.
No.
Like, I don't know, they're well off and don't have to. Which is, like, that's fine, too. Like, that's great that you're blessed enough to not have to do that, so.
Even that.
And sometimes
you gotta get a taste of the real world.
Yeah, but sometimes people just, like, I don't know, use their fathers or mothers, and then it works.
Oh, I know people. I know people do that.
Yeah, but it works for them.
It's
yeah. Because then you don't have to worry about that, because you're already like you have that in.
I know, but I mean, there's some aspect of it's like you gotta to be able to relate to people.
Yeah, I don't know.
For that aspect alone, just to be able to relate to somebody. Just the salt of the earth. You got to relate to the salt of the earth. When, everybody, the 99% of all other Americans that are working 9 to 5s or working, menial jobs here or there, or maybe they're unemployed, whatever,
Well, that's why you have your divide of like high class. That's where that comes in, because you're like, oh,
I know. I'm saying the bridge
of
the divide is getting a job as soon as you possibly can, just so that at the very least you can relate to like what that feels like, what it feels like to get up at 6 a.m. and go, open for a
drive 40 minutes.
Yeah, open for whatever, wherever you're working. Like when I worked at Lexus and I was a valet, I would open for them, and then I would stay till 7.
That's gross.
Yeah. But I mean,
I didn't do that.
No, neither of us had to do it. But I'm just saying the bridge to the gap of like these class systems. I mean, it could probably help a lot. People are speaking from this place of authority, whether they have whether it's because they have money or notoriety or power or all of the above. But they might not even know what it's like to work a 9 to 5. They've never experienced that, and so there's like obviously some sort of ideological divide there, because you can't relate to the people that maybe are voting for you, maybe are your customers. You're the CEO of a company, but you've never worked, you've never done the jobs that your employees are expected to do, and so there's a big divide there.
Yeah.
And that's probably where a lot of the this whole culture about hating the rich or hating the upper classes because they have something that we all don't, or maybe that we feel like that they're oppressing society holistically. There's that whole idea that we need to hate them, and it's probably has to do at the foundational level because they've never done the jobs that we're doing. They've never had to relate to us.
I just want to know how we got into this topic.
I don't know. Go become a Patreon. Go become a Patreon.
The whole time you were talking, I was listening, I promise. No, you weren't. But I was trying to figure out, no, I really wasn't. I was trying to figure out where this conversation started and how we got there.
I don't know. I started going off because I just feel really
strongly about.
Not strongly. No, I just feel blessed that it's been great. Like the homework has sucked, and I had 2 tests last week. They both, kind of, hit me in the mouth.
Good, yeah.
No, they both were awful. I hated it. They were not great. Yeah. Yes. They were hard, very hard. And, I had homework just back to back, and I had homework today that I didn't really get finished, homework late last night. But at the end of the day, it's like I can still go get food. I can still,
groceries.
Yeah, I can still, go get Bahama Bucks or whatever, You
had Bahama Bucks?
Yeah, you did too. I paid for it. Oh. And, so it's like, and I love my room. As much as I dislike my apartment as a whole because my roommates are slobs. Yeah. I mean, jeez.
We're not going to talk about it.
Those kids
but yes.
Are disgusting.
He's getting a room change, but...
Well, yeah, that lady hasn't emailed me back, but I need to get cleaner roommates. But my room is dope. I mean, it's a whole nother world. You walk in the apartment, and it's like, ooh, this is a scene out of Hoarders.
What died?
Yeah, and then you walk in my room, and it's like a whole new world.
It's LED world.
It's crazy. Yeah, it is LED world in there. It's dope.
I was thinking of something. I can't remember. If I don't say it right when I'm thinking it, it's gone.
You'll remember it. I believe in you.
Okay.
I really do.
It'll be like 3 a.m, so...
Yeah, that's fine.
And then call you at 3 a.m. Hey, so we're going to talk about...
Yeah, that's fine. We'll start up the podcast again. We'll get we'll Skype call you, and I'll get the mics back out and the whole deal. Catfish, yeah. Isn't that crazy? Isn't catfish nuts? Have you ever been close to catfish, or have you ever catfished somebody? Or have you ever even in the slightest thing said that you were something that you weren't to somebody that you didn't know, maybe on
probably
Tinder or Kick?
Probably.
Really?
Because I've moved enough times that it's it's kind of bad to say, but it's you can kind of change. If you're okay, this didn't work at this school, it's I can oh, I thought you were gonna sneeze. No. It's I can kind of, if you really wanted to, you could change personalities, moving states, because it's you're not stuck to what people think you are. So probably
Hmm.
And maybe, like, I don't think a lot of the times I meant it. Like, I meant to, like, be that different. And I don't even really know if I was. But it's just, like, it can happen. So I probably have.
Yeah.
And maybe not intentionally.
Do you remember what it was?
No.
No. But you just feel like you've done it?
Oh, probably. I'm saying probably.
Yeah.
Most likely.
I'm trying to think. I really don't think I
Not
have.
like sending someone, like, a picture that wasn't, like,
Wasn't
me.
you, but like saying like, you know.
Maybe that I did this, but I didn't really do that. Yeah, probably.
I was in a conversation, or not a conversation. I was in, not a relationship either, but me and this girl were talking.
Mm-hmm.
Not too long before.
Not too long ago.
No, not too long before we started talking. It might have been like 4 months or 3.5-ish months before that we like even started speaking to each other for the first time as friends, obviously. But and I remember, you know, things were going good, and I had known this girl for a long time, and we were very cool. We were very cool, very much alike. And we got along very well. Both had similar senses of humor. You know, she got along with my friends, all that, and whatever. Mm-hmm. And there was a point where we went to IHOP or something and for breakfast. And we were having a good conversation. It was going back and forth. We were sharing stories. And then it just seemed like some of the stories she was telling me were just outrageous. Just completely ridiculous stories. Mm-hmm. And so, and I would tell a story about, like, you know, if we were talking about like athletics, I would tell a story about like this one day in practice, you know, this happened and, you know, it was really funny, or this one kid, you know, did this and I gave him a concussion, and, you know, which happened a lot.
Great. He played defense.
Yeah, that's what it is. You know. Top 300 in this state.
Oh my! Absolutely not.
Just kidding. No,
I love you, but no.
I know. But I mean, yeah, and so then she would like build off of that, but not just so much build off of it, but she would like try to one up
you.
it. Yeah.
I love those.
And I could really tell.
Yeah.
No, I hate those people.
Yeah, sarcasm.
No, yeah. And I would be like, yeah, you know, because if she would talk about like soccer or whatever, and be like, yeah, you know, I scored 2 goals in the same game and I got like the game ball. I was like, dang, that's really cool. Mm-hmm. And then I wouldn't even try to one up her. I'd just tell a story. I was like, yeah, you know, this other, one day in practice, this.
So you were both doing it.
No, I wasn't doing it. You
might have, and you just didn't know.
Because giving a kid a concussion in practice isn't one-upping 2 goals in a game. That's not one-upping.
No, but to like in like the masculine way, it is.
Maybe, but
you guys are doing it to each other.
I'm just giving you an example. I'm not saying this actually. I'm not reading. Yeah, okay. I'm not reading the transcript or anything. I'm just saying this is like an example of what happened. Don't be accusing me.
I'm not accusing. I'm just saying. I'm giving you the sociological aspect.
I know. No. But like, so if I would say like, yeah, I gave this kid a concussion in practice, and he was the quarterback, and you know, so we didn't really get along, whatever. And then she would be like, yeah, you know, me and this girl didn't get along, and but you know, I ended up scoring 2 goals, and I freaking headed the ball into her teeth and knocked her out, and you know, her teeth fell out, and her mom, you know, had to rush onto the field, take her to the ER, and she got like airlifted out. And, you know, and then the Marines came, and it would just be, like, the most outlandish, like...
See, but how would you respond to, like, when she would be like, I got 2, like, goals? You'd be like, oh, cool, and, like, leave it at that? Or would you, like, respond with one of your stories?
No. I'm just giving an example. I'm not saying that, like...
No, I'm saying when she would say, like, oh, I did this.
No, I was just like, dang, I was really impressive.
But then respond with something that you've done.
Well, I wouldn't just stop the conversation, but
right.
But I would just, like, say, I would share a story. It might have been a funnier story. It might be, like, a funny story. Like, not, like, something that I achieved.
Yeah.
But I could just tell that she was, like, I could tell that it was BS.
Yeah.
Like, I could tell that it wasn't, like... true things. These were not true things. So you were like, gotta go. These were not true things that were being said. And no, I mean, yeah, and so that was a big kind of red flag, I guess you could say, because I don't know, it was really annoyed me.
Yeah.
And I didn't really understand what it was until, you know, but
you like gotta head out.
Yeah.
There's this girl at school in math class.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm
she's in my
girl in
pre-calc
math
class.
class.
Yeah, she's in my pre-calc class. She's cute or whatever. You know what I mean? So,
Oh, yeah.
ha ha.
Yeah, we're not gonna talk about it.
Yeah, 2 years later. That is what it is, though. I mean, at the end of the day,
Well, it helps you know what you want and don't want, kind of thing.
yeah, I definitely don't want somebody that just like.
But see,
make
someone
stuff up.
might like, and that's what I'm saying. So someone
Why would
like,
you want that?
no, you might not even like. Someone might be like, "Oh my gosh, that's annoying," but they might be like, they might go and do the exact like a guy that might like whoever that was might like do the exact same thing, and like not even catch like they know she's doing it, but they don't know that they're just like really going back and forth because they're like the same person.
Yeah, no, I
You just didn't care for that.
It
Yeah,
wasn't great.
Yeah.
I'll be honest. And but you know,
you have your preferences.
yeah, I guess I did have my preferences. I think we were just too alike, to be honest with you. We were just way too
And
similar.
we're so opposite.
Well, yeah, we're opposite. I mean, but at the same time, there's a lot of things that
I think
are the exact same.
but I think like I don't know if that was like that in the beginning.
Like we're fundamentally different.
Oh, yes, but like
But like detail wise, like on the like this on the like the little things were the exact same.
that's what I'm saying. But I don't know if it was like that in the beginning. I think like because it was like friendship and we got to like know each other like as friends. Like then, bless you,
Because you're so boring.
honey. You wanted me on the show. I don't want to hear it.
Funny.
No,
Okay,
you got stuck with me because everyone else is gone.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Well, like I said, I mean, I know I'm quarantining. You're quarantining. The only people that I'm talking to are staying in the same
Home.
place. Yeah. So I mean,
That was your last
I know
option.
I'm good.
It's fine. That was
What?
your last option.
Here, my first option here, also my last option.
Ouch.
Nobody else I know is up here that I feel safe with.
Safe.
Yeah.
I really had a question that's gonna bug me.
What?
I don't remember what it was.
Oh, you're still trying to think of that?
Yeah, I
Wait,
am.
you were gonna say something.
I know.
No, just now, before I yawned, and called you boring.
So, I don't know. See, if I don't say it, it just.
I'm about to yawn again. You understand? Oh my God, what's going on?
Do I bore you that much?
No, I'm just tired. You know, I had a long day
And
at the
you
office.
have coffee,
Yeah, I do.
and
It's
yet
good
it
coffee,
doesn't
too.
affect you.
No, it doesn't.
Oh my gosh. Okay, go ahead with your
There was-
go-to Starbucks
was-
drink.
What?
We were about to go on two different topics. Your go-to Starbucks drink. It's the most disgusting thing ever.
It's not. It's just cold brew.
It's disgusting.
It's just black cold brew.
That's gross.
No, it's not. It's
Yes.
not at all.
No.
I recently started, trying. I've ventured out into other things like
Your chai latte.
yeah,
That's your white girl drink.
my dirty chai latte. No, but it has like two
shot,
shots
yeah.
of espresso.
Yeah.
Though.
There's when your masculinity comes back.
Yeah,
But if you just had
it tastes
chai latte,
really
I'd
good
be
though.
concerned.
It tastes really good.
Well, yeah.
The brew has the best one though, the iced one.
Was that a chai latte?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, that was a dirty chai.
Yeah.
They have the best one.
Yeah. Shout
No,
out College
but like
Station.
I was saying, like there's stuff like we are fundamentally so different, but at the same time, there's things where we'll be thinking just the exact same thing.
Now it's become more like reoccurring. I feel like we've been doing stuff.
No. But this is stuff that like wouldn't come from just like contact with each other, like the Gumbies, for example. Mm-hmm. And maybe it's a coincidence, maybe it's not. But like we kept asking each other what we want, and then we both were just like pepperoni.
Yeah.
Maybe that's a coincidence, maybe it's not. That might sound stupid to other people, but it was just very strange.
I've just noticed more we've been doing we'll do certain things like either at the same time or we'll be thinking and then like 2 seconds later one of us says it and you're like, oh my gosh, I was just thinking that. Oh my gosh.
I try so hard not to.
Is there a way to stop a yawn?
No, you can't stop it. I mean, I've done it where like my mouth doesn't open, but I'm still like,
It looks even worse.
yeah, it looks stupid. No, but like the other night when you were about to tell me a story and I already knew what you were gonna say.
That's what I'm saying. That's like.
But that's not just like because I've like seen you a lot more.
Yeah.
I don't know
I
what to
think
say.
it is.
No, it's not.
We've just spent more like time.
No, I just had a really good feeling of what you're about to say.
No, like if I was still at DBU and we wouldn't be like hanging out as much as we did, I don't think that'd be a thing.
I don't know
Like,
about
there's
that.
something
I don't know
different
about
with,
that.
like,
though.
having
I
that
think
physical
I think you have a point. I think you have a really good point. I'm just saying there's those two examples, like the Gumby's one, and when I like told your story before you even said it.
Yeah, that was weird.
Those are things that aren't just from us just seeing each other more.
I think so.
No, they're too weird.
Okay, well then let's not see each other for like a couple weeks and we'll find out.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, then we won't be able to know.
Well, we can still talk, I'm saying, but like be together. Like all the time.
Yeah, but I mean, yeah.
Experiment.
Okay.
For science.
Uh-huh.
For science.
Yeah.
We'll
For
find out
science. For science. Yeah. For science. Do you believe in Bigfoot?
No.
You don't believe in Bigfoot? Mm-mm.
Do
What
you?
about the Loch Ness Monster?
No. Well, I don't know. Because, see, the ocean is a whole different beast.
It's not an ocean.
See.
It's like a lake.
Well, I'm saying, like, just, like, the depth. Like, it could be in the ocean, the sea, whatever, and you just have no idea.
Yeah. Austin was telling me about how he believes that the megalodon is real.
Yeah, I don't know. The
He
ocean
was
scares
saying-
me.
He was saying, yeah. It does me too. He was saying that
It does me too.
yeah, it does. It scares me too, like it does me too.
It does me too.
It verbs me too.
It does me.
Um,
Bingles.
Trees PD. He was saying that there's on the megalodon fossils, there's an extra not pectoral fin. There's an extra fin,
Dorsal.
not dorsal. There's an extra fin on the back. Not the pectoral. There's the pectoral, the dorsal, and then the
Tail?
ones by the tail fin. But it's like the little ones by the tail fin.
Steering tail fins. I don't know.
Steering tail fins.
Look, I'm
No,
a
no.
sociology major. Do
I'm an
you
engineer,
think
and I
that
knew that it wasn't the dorsal fin.
Okay,
So,
well.
but it was one of those. They have an extra like little fin by their tail
Mm-hmm.
that great whites don't, and they recently found this group. But the thing is, great whites don't travel in like packs or whatever. They travel solo. But there was a group of them. There was a group of them that were swimming around, and there was one of them that had that extra fin, and it was a slightly like different color than the other great whites. So they thought that it was a baby megalodon.
Or like a crossbreed.
Or like a crossbreed, but even then, it would still prove the existence
Right.
of
No, yeah.
the megalodon.
But I'm saying if
Because
it's like
that does
traveling.
DNA. Yeah.
Huh.
So he was saying that that's the case. Now, I looked into this one a little bit too, and I think it has some traction because like the biggest argument for aliens is that it's statistically probable.
Right.
Because it's just
space,
so big,
yes.
and it would be more impressive if they didn't exist statistically.
Right.
You know,
So it's like the ocean.
it's like the exact same argument. The ocean is so big, and we only know like around 10% of what's going on down there.
Right.
That it's statistically very, very probable
Right.
that there's huge species of animals that we just don't ever get to see.
Mm-hmm.
And the other thing is they think blue whales are like endangered, but how do you know? We might only be seeing a certain type of blue whale that only goes to the areas that we're looking.
Mm-hmm.
There might be other blue whales that are in whole other parts of the ocean that we never get to see.
Right.
So I think it's a very good point. Now, the thing with the Loch Ness Monster is because it used to be a part of the ocean. It used to be connected to open ocean.
Mm-hmm.
But it's now like a lake or like a small sea. And it is very deep, but it's not salt water anymore. It's fresh water now. And they think that it's a Greenland shark. Because Greenland sharks were thought to be extinct for thousands of years.
Right.
And they think that that thing's a dinosaur, basically.
I was going to say it's a shark.
That thing's literally a dinosaur. And so they think that it got trapped in there before the
Flood?
before the landmass disconnected the open ocean from this body of water before it closed it off. And so they think the Loch Ness Monster is actually a Greenland shark, or was, or is.
Right.
But they thought it was extinct, and then they found in the last 20 years, they've realized that Greenland sharks were still like alive and well, and they're just super deep waters.
Right.
Super deep.
Nope.
Like we didn't see we've seen washed up giant squid. Only in like the last 5 years have we actually like recorded a giant squid on camera. Like people have seen them obviously, but we've never actually like caught one on camera until like the last 5 years.
Right. Well, 'cause technology.
Yeah. It's kind of crazy.
Yeah. I'm not gonna go look for them, so
I'm not either.
I'll
No.
read the stories, but
I'm super interested in it though. If I had like a live stream of somebody in like a submarine going down there all around.
Oh, I'll watch that all day.
I'll do that for
But
sure.
I won't go.
Yeah, I'll watch documentary after documentary.
Oh, for sure.
You know?
Yeah.
I think those are really fascinating.
You and your... Were they sharks?
No, they're blue whales. I watched one about blue whales and you gave me crap for it.
Yeah.
It's like, my bad.
It's kind of funny.
Okay, well, you watch A Sweet Life of Zach and Cody till the
It's
day you die.
Background noise while I'm doing
No,
homework.
you watch it. You're not doing homework.
I am doing homework.
You're not doing homework.
I get distracted, but it's pretty much just background noise. Ooh, you made that one
I
go.
know. I know. If I didn't sigh, it would have.
Are we facing the camera?
Yeah, I guess. I face the camera. I just looked weird. I looked like all hunchback, you know.
No. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I'm super interested in the ocean. I think that's like the most fascinating thing.
Yeah.
That's super fascinating.
Yeah. But see, that's something like, if I were to think for like 0.5 seconds, I'd be like, oh, like I would want to go like into like get my degree in something that has to do with that. But then I'm like, nah, I really wouldn't. I just want to know like, I don't know, the interesting facts of it. But I don't think I could go into like that job field.
When I was a kid, you know what I wanted to be?
Superman.
Yes, but like in real life, you know what I wanted to be?
What?
A marine biologist.
I almost said that.
I wanted to be a. See what I mean?
I
Like,
literally
why-
almost said that, but I was like, no, that sounds stupid.
Here's the thing: I have never once mentioned that at all,
No. But I almost
and
just
that
said,
would never come up from like more contact. So how would you know that?
I don't know. But that was like the first thing
See,
that
so
came
it's
to my
not.
head.
It's not about contact. It's just. I don't know.
Or that's just like what people think. That's like when you think ocean,
Maybe.
you think
Maybe
marine
that'd be
biologist. 'Cause I
the.
think that's what Kendall wanted to be for the longest time. So that might have been why. I don't know.
Anyway, I wanted to be a marine biologist and study great whites
That would have been
because I was obsessed with
And now
sharks.
you want to be a professor.
I kind of do, yeah.
Yeah. Let's talk about that.
Well, here's the thing. So none of my close friends or any friends really like or enjoy having conversations about, math or physics or
It's
science.
nothing against you though. It's just like
not saying
not
it is.
interesting to us.
I'm not
Yeah.
saying it is. And so I feel like, I know this language that is effectively dead when I'm around my friends.
It really
It's the most, universally spoken language in all of human history. Math is.
Yeah.
It's the most universally spoken language.
Doesn't mean we like it.
What?
Doesn't mean we like to like hear.
No, it doesn't mean you like it. I'm just saying it's the most universally spoken language for all of human history.
Mm-hmm.
Over any period in history, it's the most universally, internationally spoken language is math. And, to be able to speak that language is, it's great.
For
and
you.
y'all don't like to hear it. So
No, we don't.
if I had the opportunity to speak that language to people that were financially or morally obligated to listen, that'd be a great time. Plus, professors make good money. And I could also say, and I would want to get my doctorate first, but I would obviously, be able to say that I'm Dr. King. You know what I mean?
Disgusting. Yes.
So it's either that or starting my own business. Those are kind of the epitome of Alex King. But, you know, I don't know. The thing is about starting my own business, and I need to do, obviously, more research on it, but, like, I'm thinking about where Grant is, you know? And Grant's not doing terrible. You know, he's doing very well. But I want to go beyond just having a college intern and this kid that the college intern is training.
Yeah, but he might be okay with that, like, stopping
No,
there.
he's not.
Like,
He
have
wants
you asked
he wants
him?
to continue to grow, obviously. He doesn't he's not nobody that starts their own business is ever going to be content.
Well, that's what I was asking. Have you, like,
No.
talked to him, like, how he got there? And then,
Oh
like,
yeah,
what he wants
we've
to do?
spoken about what his goals are.
Yeah.
And I mean, again, this isn't where he wants to be. He wants to grow. He wants the thing to he wants his company. He wants to, you know, become more independent as his own company. He wants to become either, you know, a corporation, you know, and so he's not there yet, but he's getting there for sure.
Yeah.
And he just needs to, you know, obviously it's my job too. We just need to keep working at it.
Yeah.
But we'll get there, man. I mean, it's going to take years. So that's the thing. Like, you know,
It's a lot of
you
investing
gotta,
time.
yeah. It's tough to be in like the red years of a business, especially an engineering firm, while you have kids, is just not ideal in my opinion. You know.
Yeah.
I mean, starting a company and then like running it in the first couple of years is just not time effective if you have like young children, you know, because then you're so involved in everything else. I mean, Grant is a very involved individual.
Yeah.
Dude's on like the school board, plus he coaches Little League Baseball with his kids, plus he has his own company,
business,
you know. And so I don't know how he does it all, man, but
Yeah.
he's doing something
He
right.
said super dad.
Yeah, he's crushing it,
He
man.
figured it out.
Plus, you got to be a good wife, good husband,
Good wife,
Plus, you got to be a
yes.
good husband to your wife, man,
Alex, be a good wife.
and you know, and the other thing is, I mean, my whole thing. Here's what I'm gonna do, and
Okay.
we're gonna get serious. We're gonna get into
We're
this.
getting
Okay, we're getting
serious?
serious.
Okay.
Here's where I want to be. Okay.
Okay.
Lord willing, we're still together.
Mm-hmm.
Pray for that every day. I want either an apartment or a house.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, first apartment, then a house. I'm excited for this. Okay.
I see it in your face.
Here's what I want to build in my backyard, and I spoke to you about this last night. So, and I told Austin this the other day too. I'm gonna build like a man cave / studio / weight room.
Right.
All right. So the studio is for the podcast, obviously.
Right.
And it's gonna be sick, okay? But it's also gonna be like a man cave, you
Right.
know?
Yeah.
So it's gonna be my man cave where I just come and chill. There's gonna be TVs, a bar, you know, a table where there's gonna be a humidor. You know, we're gonna have.
Did you say outside?
No, I mean it's gonna be outside, but it's not gonna be a part of the house. It's gonna be another structure.
You don't want your man cave outside.
Not outside. It's gonna be in like under a roof.
That's what I'm saying. It's like still in the house somewhere, or you like talking about building a whole nother thing out like outside in the backyard.
It's like a big shed.
Okay. Okay.
Or I just.
I would think you'd put that like in the house.
Or I just make that the garage.
Or another room in the house.
Yeah, or another room in the house.
Yeah.
But the thing about it is because I want to make it. I want to have it a bar. I want to have a bar there. I want to and I want to have it like be a like a humidor.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't want cigar smoke in the house. Is the thing.
Right.
Because then you know. It's just not good. I don't want it in the house.
Right.
Or in the,
I don't want it in the house.
Well, it's not going to be in the house.
Yeah.
If it is, I'm going to do research and figure out how to ventilate it. I know there's a way to do it.
Yeah.
Because I've seen somebody make his humidor a room in his house, and he properly ventilated it, and there's not a problem.
Interesting.
So there's a way to do it.
Or go sit outside.
No, but I want it to be. I
No,
want
I
to
want
have
it in
the
the house.
possibility to, you know, enjoy a cigar with, you know, a buddy on the during the podcast.
Austin.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
No, me and Austin, we've talked about, you know, when we're both Well, of course, he just turned 21. But when I turn 21 this summer, we're both going to be those complete, like, jerks. What's going on?
That's in a month.
It's a little over a month. It's about almost 2 months, actually.
What?
It's almost 2 months.
Okay.
Because we're only in the beginning of April.
Okay.
So, but yeah, we're gonna be those just jerks that just like are really like we're not gonna be like partiers.
Right.
We're gonna be those people that just like enjoy like, you
ladies sipping your wine.
Yeah, we're gonna be like those guys that are like, wow, this whiskey has notes of whatever. We're gonna be those guys.
Oh my goodness.
And we're gonna do it on the show. And it's gonna be the greatest thing. Just
fantastic.
We're gonna be wearing dad sweatshirts and it's gonna be great. I can't wait for that, man.
Great.
But yeah, so I don't know. Either I make the garage a weight room and I have, racks in there, and then a room of the house is, I make it like my office, but also there's like a table in there with mics in there, and I have my studio and everything set up there for the. I don't know. We'll see.
Right.
Once I start looking at houses, obviously, I'll kind of know more about what that's gonna look like.
You with your interior design, trying to fix my curtain.
I'm just saying. I know it looks good and I know it doesn't look good. I have good taste in many things.
Okay.
Women are on that list, so good job. You made it.
No, you figured it out. Is what I should say.
You figured it out.
No, we figured out that you've been my taste for a long time. So.
I didn't know that until recently.
Well, I knew that. My mom knew that. Shout out, Mom.
Come on the show.
No, you need my dad. That'd be fun.
That'd be fun.
That would be very fun. A lot of eye contact.
Corona. Tried shaking his hand today, and a stupid thing that I did. I don't know why I tried shaking his hand with all this stuff
Gentleman.
going on.
Well, you're not thinking.
But he was just Corona. Did the elbow thing.
Oh, drove 2 hours to bring me something.
I know, that's very cool.
Shout out, Dad.
Shout out, Mr. Ellard.
Yes.
Baller. If you're into NFL football like I am, go look up Henry Ellard, his highlights in the NFL.
I don't know who that is.
If you ever see his name on a Hall of Fame ballot, vote for him, please, because he's still like top 15 wide receivers all time, and I don't know why he's not in the Hall of Fame. So
Deion Sanders.
Oh yeah, literally Deion Sanders. Literally Primetime said he was the hardest receiver to cover in his whole career.
Sick.
Yeah.
He's just my dad. I don't get it.
Yeah. Exactly. So I don't know. He's good. That's my coach, man.
Gross.
Yeah.
Once an athlete, always an athlete, as he says.
Yeah. Thank you. You want to talk about that?
No.
Yeah, I think you do, because that you took an L. And
you took an L when we were talking.
Sweetheart, no.
You got so mad when we were talking about it on campus. No. Before my dad even said all that, when we were talking about it on campus, you like shut down and you were like,
I did not. You're playing this like it was.
Alex,
like,
you got
it was like an
mad
actual
and
fight.
you had
I did
nothing
not.
to like.
No, I did not. No,
you had nothing to say back.
No.
What did you had nothing to tell me?
Listen, it wasn't. We were just messing around like we always do.
You needed my dad.
You need to confuse. You need to.
I
stop
need to
confusing.
confuse.
You need to stop confusing when we mess around for when we're joking. I wasn't actually like upset.
No. I know you weren't mad, but you were like annoyed.
You're telling people that I got mad.
You were annoyed.
No, I was not annoyed. Not even close. You're confusing these things here.
Right.
You're confusing these things.
Oh, yes.
I was not mad, and I wasn't even annoyed. We were just having a discussion that wasn't even based on like seriousness. Mm-hmm. You know.
Okay. No. Once an athlete, always an athlete.
Yeah, I know. The argument was I was telling her that I am an athlete. Mm-hmm. You know, and I played sports since I was 2 feet tall, and I work out every day, which is an athletic thing to do. Mm-hmm. You know,
athletic.
And then she was saying that no, you're not an athlete. You're not playing a sport right now. Mm-hmm. And I was like, okay, that's not a bad point, but I feel like if you're the only thing I'll say is this: if you were first team All-State for football in high school, and then 60 years later you haven't done a single athletic thing since then, you're not an athlete anymore. You were.
So
you
base
were
it
an
on
athlete.
time.
You were an athlete. No. I'm basing it on like current events. Like if I hadn't worked out since high school football, I probably wouldn't say I'm an athlete.
Oh, so you're saying someone that was like, I don't know, did really good in high
I've
school,
kept
but then
up.
haven't worked out since.
Yeah. You were an athlete, and you were a great athlete.
So you're saying as
And you
soon
were
as
a
you
stud
stop
athlete.
working out, you're not an athlete anymore.
I don't think so.
Okay.
I think you lose.
But wouldn't you just lose your athleticism?
Over
not
time,
your,
you lose your athleticism.
me.
Again, you were an athlete,
Right.
and you still are an athlete. You still are an athlete. You're just not an athlete in a sport right now, but you are an athlete.
I
You
just
you
think
are
of it as like
athletic.
athletic. Yeah.
No, because
but I
listen,
don't think of myself as
you could go. Listen.
me and my 50 beats
You-
per minute heartbeat.
No, you are an athlete.
Runner's heart.
You are an athlete, and here's why. I'm going to drop a bomb.
Do you
on it.
understand?
I'm going to drop a bomb right now.
Okay.
You are an athlete because Olympians, like historically, Olympians used to not just specialize in one sport. They would do all of them.
Right.
They were athletes. They were Olympic athletes, but they
Yeah.
were not tied to one specific event. They would
Right.
do all of them. So they were athletes.
Right.
So if I'm considering you or me an athlete or anybody an athlete, they just have to do something athletic and do it consistently and be good at it. Like I'm good at working out and I do it very consistently. You're very good at spike ball recently. Okay?
Is that so? I was gonna ask you. So am I an athlete? Do you think I'm?
You are 100% an athlete
Okay.
because you have trained for years, like I have, like many people have, and you are good at something athletic, and you are consistently good at something athletic. It's not just like you pick something up. Like I would define it like this. This is another way to describe it, right? So I've already said that athletes don't have to be tied down to one sport because historically, if you look at the Olympics, they weren't.
Right.
Okay, they did everything, and they were still Olympic athletes, and they were great. So I think a good way to describe that in another way is you have the potential to be consistently good at something athletic, just naturally, or whether you've practiced for hours and hours on end. You're an athlete. Like I'm an athlete because I have the mentality that if we do anything athletic, I'm going to beat you.
That's for sure. I can second that. Yes.
And if I don't, then next time I'm going to work harder to beat you.
Right.
And that's just it. That's an athletic mentality. That's an athlete's mentality. Whether or not it's been drilled into me or not, or whether or not I was born with it, I don't know. I don't really care. All I know is I have it, and it's a great life tool because, I mean, and that's why, that's why you should always be an athlete because it teaches you something about life.
Right.
But even in the smallest things like spike ball, or if we went out and played
Playing
cornhole.
charades.
Or charades.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, well, that was a problem. I shouldn't have been.
Oh my gosh.
I was
That
a
was so
jerk.
intense.
I was a jerk.
Yeah.
No. But anything. If we do anything athletic or anything where there's a competition, I have a mindset that I'm going to beat you. That
know.
I'm better than you.
I know. We could be drinking like coffee at the same time,
Mm-hmm.
and you're gonna be like, "I'm finishing first," and you're gonna finish that
If you
cup of
brought it
coffee
up,
first.
yeah.
No, if I just like looked at you
But
the
that's
wrong
what
way.
that's what I would
Yeah.
consider an athlete.
Okay. Henry
know.
would agree with you.
Oh, I know. He
So
did.
would my mom.
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know.
Great.
You took a fat L on that one.
You know what?
But I
It
never
was
got
my
mad
mistake
about
by
it
bringing
no.
it
But
up.
I never got mad about it because I knew I was right. I just didn't have the brain power to articulate it at that
You were
point.
mad.
I was not mad.
You were mad.
No, I was not.
You're getting mad.
No, I'm not. I'm not mad. I promise.
He's mad.
No. But yeah. So I think that was a good conversation to be had.
whatever.
I'm glad your parent and your mom texted me too.
I
Shout
know,
out. I
and
know.
she told.
She was like, because I guess she thought that this was like an ongoing argument that we've had. Like it's becoming a problem. I don't know if she thought that.
It was
or not.
tearing us apart. Honestly.
Yeah, but she was, she texted me and she was like, just for your information, me and Mr. Ellard both agree with you
it was
that
my
you
mistake
are an athlete.
by bringing it up. I shouldn't have brought it up.
Why'd you even bring it up?
I don't know what we were talking. Because I'm always talking about you at home, and they get annoyed. So, but it's fine.
Well, when I'm at home, I always talk about you, and nobody
cares.
seems to
Austin's like,
nobody seems to take offense to it.
Okay.
Which is fine because I talk about you a lot. You literally, like all of my stories start with me and Alex the other day, or Alex told me the other day, or me and Alex were talking the other day,
Yeah.
or I was with Alex the other day and this happened. Literally, that's how all my stories start, and
Yeah.
it's the greatest thing in the
I
world.
realize I like was doing that at home, and I was like, that's probably annoying. So like I really have to like catch myself. Like if I'm about to talk and it's about to be about like you and I'm like, I'll save it for myself.
Yeah, not everything needs to be publicized about your relationship.
Right.
Like, this is something else I wanted to talk about. How do you feel about
PDA?
Hang on, I really got to pee. You think you can hold this podcast on your own legs?
No.
Here we go. What are we in? 55 minutes? Oh, we're just getting started. Perfect. Go ahead.
Just kidding.
Carry on. Or you do the ads. Do the Instagram, Patreon, whatever. Do that. You got it.
I don't know how you do that.
You can do it. Take care of yourself.
Oh my gosh. I don't even know what my Instagram is. How about I should find that out?
No, the throne rooms.
No, mine.
Oh.
I don't care about yours. It's AlexGrace_E. Twitter is probably the same thing. Not really sure. No. It's AlexGrace12. That it is. I'm doing really good. Really good. He shall be back shortly. Oh, also, I have a fireplace going with some nice crackling sounds, and it's really aesthetically pleasing. And I also still have a silver Christmas tree up. Shout out to Alyssa, and I haven't put it away.
I'm surprised.
Which is,
I'm surprised you're still talking.
yeah,
What are you talking about?
the aesthetically pleasing fireplace that I have going,
Oh yeah.
and then the Christmas tree that's right next to it.
Yeah.
That the box is literally right in front of it.
Well, it was in the shot, so I moved it.
Oh, okay. Well, the box is nearby, but
Yeah.
I haven't put it away.
Okay, we were gonna talk about couples. So, I wanted to talk about this. So, how do you feel about couples our age at DBU getting married?
I think it's crazy. I think it's a little crazy, but like they're very like
I think it's a little crazy.
it's a little much. I'm not one. I don't know. I can't say and how the parents, are like okay. Like, cause my parents would be like, hello, are you? Like we were joking I told you this. We were joking the other day, and I was like, but what if I know like Alex is the one? And my dad's like, nah. We're gonna talk about. We're gonna sit down and talk about this. But like
that's a whole nother thing.
I can't say. To me, it seems crazy because it's like I'm 20 years old. And, like, it sounds like a great idea, but, like, you have to take into account everything else that comes with that and, like, planning for a wedding, like, financial, all that stuff, which seems crazy. I don't know. To me, it just seems crazy. Mm-hmm. But for them, it works, apparently, because a lot of people that I went to school with at DBU have, like, gotten engaged and get married within, like, the year.
That's nuts.
Like, they don't wait.
I wonder what the divorce rate
I
is for those
haven't,
kids.
like, there's not been one yet that I've seen. Like, they're still together.
You should do your, like, senior project for sociology about that.
On DBUs.
DBUs,
Couples?
yeah, couples, if they last.
Yeah, I don't know. But, like, it's like a thing. Like, sophomore year is, like, the engagement year.
That's weird. Do you think if we weren't dating and we never started talking and you went off to DBU and you decided that you liked it there and you didn't leave, that you would find somebody and marry them by sophomore year?
I have no idea. I think the guy would probably start to, like, talk about it, and I'd be like, and then I'd talk to my mom about it, and she'd be like, get out of that, I think. Because,
So if it was every guy you ever talked to was like, yeah, I'm trying to get married here pretty soon.
every guy. Oh, there?
The guy you talked to was like, yeah, man, I'm trying to hitch up.
I'd,
Bye.
like, have to really know. Because these couples, like, talk for, I don't know, maybe, like, a year. And then they get engaged. So I'm like, I don't know. I have no idea what it is.
It's really hard. You got to, like, get lucky with that. It's really hard to know somebody.
But it's like,
It's really hard to get to know somebody.
Like,
Just period.
They're doing, like, great, though. So it's like, it's not, I don't know what it is.
Yeah, you don't know.
I would want to, like, talk to them.
You don't know if they're doing good.
Come on the show. I'd really want to know.
I want to know, too.
Like, what got them to that point.
But you don't know if they're doing good.
No.
You don't know that.
On social media.
They're
great.
doing good for Instagram. They're getting lots of likes, lots of comments.
But I'm saying they got to that point. So it's like, how did you get to that point after maybe like 8 months to a year? Like, what made you be like, oh no, they're
You
the
don't know.
one?
You don't know. I know people that have gotten married within days. They've met and get married in days.
In like
Within days they've gotten married. And
no,
they're still
no,
together.
like in this
No, a long time
like
ago.
yeah, that it makes more sense.
Yeah. And I mean, it works for them. You know, it's worked. Now that's very rare.
Right.
I feel like me and Austin. This is actually a point on last week's episode when I had Austin on. You need to see somebody at like their very worst, and like that is it's a true test of character. Number one, to see how they react when they just knocked completely down. When they're at their absolute lowest, you need to see how that person responds in a scenario like that. You know,
right?
Because you don't really. I mean, if everything's going great and all the time that you're talking to somebody or you're in a relationship with somebody, you don't really know them. In my opinion, that's just me. Maybe I don't know.
Yeah.
But how can you say that you know somebody, and you're willing to just like become one person, you know, in marriage with this person, but you haven't even seen them when it all goes to crap.
Yeah.
You know, when everything hits the fan.
Yeah. Well,
you know?
For me,
you got to be able to see somebody at their worst and see how they respond.
Yeah. And I wouldn't think of it like that. Like, if I'm, like, dating someone, I'm like, how are they gonna respond to that? Like,
you're obviously not wishing that anything bad happens to these people.
No. But I'm saying if it did, how is, like, my significant other gonna also respond? Like, is he gonna be like, I'm gonna leave, give up?
It goes both ways.
Right. And so my first thought is, how is he gonna respond to that with, you know, how is he gonna like encourage me? How is he gonna encourage me? What little things is he gonna do?
It goes both ways. Like you've obviously seen me in very low points of my life, and for me it was like she needs to see me at this point in my life, because like you need to see how I respond to it, and you need to understand why I'm responding to it the way I am, and you need to see that I'm not being immature about it, and you need to see that I'm, you know, handling myself even though everyone around me isn't.
Right.
Not because like I need to prove to you something about myself, but just to give you some reassurance that, you know, I don't go absolutely crazy when life happens.
Right.
You know, because life's going to happen, you know, at least once a year, right?
Shout out to Austin's house for having that discussion.
Yeah.
I remember having that discussion out by the pool. Well, we've had that, and then we had Starbucks, but there were a couple discussions that we had. How about that?
Those discussions weren't bad.
No. I'm not saying they were bad. It's just like trying to get back on like seeing, like, you know, eye to eye.
Well, yeah,
So.
That was a unique one though, because I've never known anybody that has experienced what I was going through.
Yeah.
And you obviously didn't know anybody that has either. And so I was trying to figure out still the best way I could handle it, and the best way for me to handle it, and to kind of navigate life at that point in time, and to figure out like what my plan was, how I was going to get back on my feet, how I was going to make it in life, how I was going to, you know, work everything out. And so I need to figure that out first, but at the same time not have any regrets about, you know, whatever, like not like, even if I did make it, you know, I wouldn't want to have to live with regrets of like, okay, I did this wrong. I never wanted to have to regret not doing enough, not doing my part in trying to make things right where I went wrong. And at this point, I have no regrets. Like I did everything that I knew that I could do, and you know this, you know, people, adults, like other parents know this that I spoke to, that I asked for guidance for, and like obviously your parents too, and like, you know, so speaking to people that, you know, have kids and that are adults and that have gone through life and are more wise than I am, you know, it was encouraging, because it was like, you know, I needed to be in a
I'm not crazy.
No, that was a huge part of it. And it's like, I'm not crazy. These are actually red flags that I'm experiencing, and I'm not, they're not healthy.
Right.
And, but at the same time, still, I mean, these are human beings we're talking about, sane or not. These are human beings, and, I need to treat them with respect, even if they're not treating me with respect.
Right.
And so it was like, I didn't want to have to, 10 years down the line, ever have the thought of like, well, I didn't do enough.
Right.
I didn't, do it. I didn't do everything in my power to try to make things work out. And at this point I did. Like, I have no regrets about anything. Like, I know I've done everything that I could possibly do.
Yeah.
And at this point where I'm at right now, just that's it.
Would you say you've seen me at a low? I don't know if that was a deep question. Too deep of a question.
Well, I've seen you in some I've seen you in some low spots.
Yeah.
I've seen you in two, kind of. Two that I can think of off the top of my head. They haven't been as low, obviously, as like this craziness.
No.
That went on. That's sort of unique.
Yeah.
But I mean, I've seen you break down a couple times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm a girl, so.
Well, no, I mean, that's very modest. If that's for a girl, I mean, I feel like girls break down every other 5 minutes.
I'm the weird one that doesn't.
Well, you're just very level-headed, and you're very, very wise.
Bottle. I have a bottle.
You have a bottle.
As soon as the bottle goes over.
And I am your bottle.
That's probably gonna be like forever stuck in my head.
Yeah. Well, that used to be a huge problem. Now it's not so much. Now I'm very confident that you do tell me everything.
Oh.
Yeah. And even if you don't, like,
I mean, you usually can figure it out.
It's just gonna, I kind of can tell now.
Yeah.
But over time, you're gonna get comfortable with things. Like, the last like month, I think you've told me a lot more, just because.
It's like, well, I guess he's gonna be here a while.
Yeah.
So.
I'm not going anywhere. So.
I guess I should start to tell this man stuff about everything.
Yeah.
Yes.
Which is great, but yeah, I mean, early on, the bottle talk was important, because you really never opened up to me.
Well, I've never had to open up to anybody.
Yeah, moving around, I'm sure didn't help, but yeah, you're very level-headed, and you're very emotionally sound, and it's telling, because most people, if one tiny minor inconvenience happens in their life, I mean, they just freak out, and. It might even if it like hurts you, you just kind of lower your head and suffer through it, and kind of suffer in silence.
Cry for 2 seconds and then move on.
Yeah, then you just you kind of sit on it, and it might be churning in the back of your mind, but you're doing something else, and you're trying to distract yourself, and then over time, if it just keeps bubbling and bubbling, and more stuff is happening, and you keep trying to push it down. I mean, I've seen it a couple times just boil over. And
we love the boil.
Yeah, when it boils over, I mean, you can really just see, like, I mean, it really looks like all these emotions are literally boiling out. Mm-hmm. And it's like you just leave hot water on a burner for like hours and hours, and it's just boiling out, and it's like that frantic motion of trying to figure out how to contain the water from spilling over the sides.
Yep.
I mean, it's a really good visual representation of what's happening in your head.
Thank you.
Because that's literally what it looks like. I mean, it's like
it's like all the emotions all at once.
You're normally so composed and poised throughout whatever's going on, throughout stress, throughout whatever you're dealing with, people being mean to you, I don't know, whatever. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. People called you dirty words.
Shout out to people being mean.
Yeah, shout out. Come on the show. But I mean, yeah, you're normally so composed, and you can kind of take a lot. And you got thick skin, and things don't seem to bother you, and if they do, they'll just build up until you hit that point.
The boil over.
Yeah, the boiling point, whatever that is.
Shout out to boiling over.
Shout out to boiling point. Come on the show. Yeah. Yeah, I've seen that a couple times though, but it really does look like that. It's just like, oh my God, what do I do? How do I stop this?
Yeah, it's great. It's fine. It's great.
I'm the same way though, in many regards.
Yeah.
Like you're special.
Thank you.
Like you're special. No, I'm serious. No, I'm serious, because there are very few people where I feel completely comfortable being emotional around.
Yeah.
Where I can feel 100% like the Hotchkisses and you, that's it. Where I'm like, if I cry, don't care.
Yeah.
If I were to just bawl right now, I would have no problem with that.
Yeah.
And then, I have no problem sharing my vulnerability. Now with random people, I can share my vulnerability, but kind of sharing emotion is a little more uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
Like you can talk about it, but it like won't.
I can talk about it, yeah, but to actually show like raw, live emotion,
Right.
That's something different.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's something different, and that's something that just doesn't happen. So like for you, you get to see a side of me most days where it's like, you get to like see behind the scenes, basically.
Yeah.
Is what it is.
Special.
Yeah, and you and the Hotchkisses that's pretty much it. So 6 people, well, 4 or 5, I can't count.
6.
I'm good at math, bad at arithmetic. That's what I've realized. I'm really bad at arithmetic, but
Really
I'm good at
good.
math.
I'm
So.
bad at all of it. So.
No, you're not.
Okay.
What's
going on? What's
We're
up?
going to stare at each other for the next
kidding,
30
Jim.
minutes. Yeah.
30
No,
minutes.
I'm kidding. No,
Okay.
we're just getting started here. I mean, this is good.
With these, I can't even see
Yeah,
the time. So,
this is good though.
candlelit dinner.
I think we're like an hour and 10, 11 minutes in, I think.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm crushing it.
You're crushing it.
yeah,
Yes,
I
you're
am
doing
crushing it.
great. Fantastic.
We're also not like a very like public like relationship. Like people are always like posting blah blah blah, tweeting, Facebooking,
About each
LinkedIn.
other.
Yeah, it's like they're always together. They're never apart. It's always everything's so perfect in our relationship. We've never had a fight. And maybe they work out, maybe they don't, but you'll never actually know if they're good or not.
Right.
So there's people that have, they're in a relationship for a year. You don't really know if they're doing good.
Well, I think like people with us, like they'll try and like they knew we were together at one point, but then they don't know kind of like the now, like the in between, and like they'll try and like reach out and figure that out.
Because we don't
We don't put everything. No.
People know that we're dating.
Yeah.
People know that we're together and that we have been together for a long time.
Yeah.
I really like to believe that people like respect our relationship. Because people like do know that we were long distance for, half of our relationship. Well, more than that. More than half.
More. Yeah.
Yeah, way more than half.
Yeah.
3/4 of the. We've been long distance for
Math.
for most of our relationship.
Yeah.
And yet, I feel like that was the best foundation that we ever could have had. I think.
Yeah, I always say that.
I think if we spend as much time as we do now,
It wouldn't
back
have been
then, who knows?
I don't
Who
know.
knows?
That's why I say I wouldn't have changed a thing. Like I'm glad that
I wouldn't change the thing either.
yeah, like I was at a totally different school. Well, and even if I was here, because you weren't like on TAMU's campus, but like if we were both, I don't know where that would have gone.
I don't know either.
And I can't say good or I can't say bad because I have no idea. But I
Yeah.
just don't know.
I don't know either, man. But I mean,
We were
like
on
I said,
DBU's
people,
campus.
people see that. Oh,
Yeah.
we'd be married by now.
It would be married on
People see, but people see that though. They see that like we've been long distance for a long time, which is already a hard thing to do. I mean, long distance relationships statistically just don't work out, and they're harder and they're difficult. And it was hard, but at the end of the day, it just felt easy with you.
Oh.
And this is gross. I don't think anybody wants to hear this, by the way. This is not good content for like an audience. We're just talking at this point. We're having a good time. Get comfortable because we're
Memories.
rolling. Yeah, we're rolling here. This is gonna be just a good time. I'm having a lot of fun.
Well, I think it is also weird though that it worked out so well considering like we knew each other for not even 3 months before we went to college. And
yeah,
we
it was
were
a
like
semester.
fine.
Yeah, it was a semester.
Like how often does that happen?
Well, I don't know. That's what your dad said when he talked to me before we started dating. Or I mean, we were technically already dating. But,
Yeah, had to have the talk.
Well, he was like, "What's your plan?" Because
Right.
in 3 months we're going to different colleges.
Yeah.
And And I was like, dude, I don't know. I mean, we're gonna figure it out. I mean,
He's like, all right.
yeah. But what are you gonna say to that? No,
Yeah.
it's like, I mean, I don't know, coach. I don't know. What do you want me to? I mean,
And maybe
we
he
don't
was
know.
trying to
I
figure
don't know
out-
the answers.
Maybe he was trying to figure out whether you're gonna try and like come up with what he wanted to hear.
No, I mean, because if I were to say any other answer other than I don't know, I'd be lying because I can't tell the future.
Right.
What's your plan in 3 months? Well, we'll see. I mean, the
Yeah.
whole point of dating is to figure out if you're compatible
Right.
for a lifetime of being together every
Right.
single day.
Dating for marriage.
Well, yeah, that's the point. Yeah.
I date for fun.
Oh, you know what else is? This is funny. Somebody in our high school, shout out. You know who you are because you're. Anyway, somebody in our high school though, very early on in our relationship, but people did know we were dating.
Yeah.
I remember Josh, who needs to come. He's in San Antonio. His dad called him back, so
He got scared.
yeah, he'll be out of here for a while. So, but he did. He posted something on his spam account, and it was talking about MS-13, which is like the Mexican cartel that's like really dangerous. It's not a cartel; it's a gang. It's a Mexican gang that's very, very like violent and dangerous and territorial. And and it's close to the border. And so he was saying that part of like the border stuff was probably to protect local cities from MS-13 because I mean they're literally like just mass murdering people.
Right.
Very dangerous group. And Mexico has a huge problem with them still today. And so it started this whole Instagram battle, obviously. And I wasn't, I waited. I wasn't quick to respond. I just kind of wanted to see what these crazy people had to say.
Yeah.
And so I just said, so we're not talking about race anymore. We're just talking about, people being murdered. We obviously don't want people to be murdered.
Right.
It doesn't matter what color you are. I don't care what color you are.
Yeah.
It just, this is about murder now. This is about protecting people from being murdered, And I got called a racist, and I thought it was the funniest thing.
Good.
Yeah. So hey, I'm racist, even
Shout out.
though, yeah,
Even though.
I do think, I all that to say, I do think people that are like, oh, I'm not racist. My best friend is black. It's like, dude, that doesn't mean anything.
No.
That's the
Yes.
stupidest thing
Yes.
that you could possibly say. It's like my second cousin's dog has this guy who walks him and he's black. I'm not racist.
Right.
It's like you're just acknowledging that black people exist in our society.
Thank
that's
you.
it. Yeah.
Yes.
No, that's dumb. But I get what they're saying though. I do get what they're saying because it's like if you were actually racist, and I'm not saying those people are racist. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that
do
if
we
you
end up on
think
these topics?
no, I'm not saying that if you're like, oh, I'm not racist. My best friend's black. I'm not saying that you're a racist if you say that. I'm saying it's not a good litmus test.
Yeah.
Because I get their point. They're saying that if I'm racist, I'm doing a bad job because my best friend is the person that I'm supposedly hating.
Right.
You know what I mean? Does that make sense?
Sure.
Am I crazy for thinking that?
No. I want to know how we got on this topic.
No, I don't know
once
either.
again.
It's just, yeah. But I get what they're saying. It's just kind of a bad litmus test. A good litmus test, if you're a racist or not, is if you are, very blatantly or maybe subtly just discriminating or prejudging, being prejudiced. That's the whole, definition.
Right.
But it's not only black people. It's any race. Like you can be racist to any race. That's the whole definition. But anyway,
Favorite ice cream flavor?
I remember. Okay, have you ever had pumpkin ice cream? Like pumpkin spice ice cream?
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
You just said pumpkin. That just sounds
Pumpkin spice.
disgusting.
It's a seasonal thing, and it was my mom's favorite flavor. Pumpkin spice ice cream. And I remember it was, dude, I haven't had it since I was like a child. And I want to get some more of it. I bet they changed up the ingredients on it. I bet it was loaded with like high fructose corn sugar back then.
Where do you even get? Yeah, they probably don't even have it.
It was Bluebell.
But like now?
It's a seasonal thing,
Right.
if I remember correctly, because they don't just sell that. But I think it's around like the fall, Halloween. and stuff like that. But yeah, that was my. I mean, that and mint chocolate chip are up there. I do like Rocky Road. Really, anything chocolate, to be honest with you.
Yeah. You like the double chocolate disgustingness.
I really like mint chocolate chip. I like chocolate, but like, if we're going chocolate, like in, is it Neapolitan ice cream or Metropolitan ice cream?
Neapolitan.
Yeah, in the Neapolitan ice cream, what flavor are you going for first? She's thinking, by the way. For those
No,
of
I
you who
am
on
thinking.
for those of you who are listening on audio
I didn't
only,
just
she's
leave.
not. Yeah, she didn't die.
I mean, I don't. Is that the one? It has vanilla in it, no?
It's vanilla, strawberry, and chocolate.
Okay, vanilla.
You're wildly
I'm
insane.
not touching chocolate.
I'm not touching strawberry,
No, that definitely I'm not touching.
I'm not
but I'm
touching
definitely not
strawberry,
touching
but
chocolate.
I'm going chocolate first.
No.
100%.
No.
Yes.
No.
You're gross.
No.
Yeah.
You can't go wrong with vanilla.
No, you can't go wrong. It's just not as good.
Okay, but you can't go wrong with it.
No, you can't.
I don't like chocolate
You
ice cream.
cannot go wrong with vanilla.
No.
But it's not as good as chocolate.
Now, if there's cheesecake ice cream, yes.
Cheesecake ice cream?
Yes.
That's actually doesn't sound that bad.
Well, you had it. Well, you had the.
No, I didn't.
I called it an
I had
icy.
cheesecake snow cone on top of vanilla ice cream.
Mhm.
That's not the same.
It was good. People from New Orleans.
It had a better
No, the
aftertaste.
ice
I will
cream
say I will
in-
say it had a better aftertaste.
Get it out, yeah.
But the initial putting it in my mouth, I was like, ooh.
Because you don't like sweet. I got my sweet tooth from my dad.
I
It's
like
bad.
sweet if it's like a cake
Even then.
or something that's not like cold.
Even then.
No.
Because I feel like we had a cake for something, and you didn't want it. There you
No,
go.
bundt cake is too sweet.
Yeah,
I will
that.
say bundt cake,
That
it's
is-
too rich.
That's so good.
It's too rich, and it gives me
Where did
mad
that
nausea.
originate? It's not a
Bundt cake?
Texas thing. Yeah, right?
Oh, I bet it is a Texas thing. It's definitely Texas-esque. It's just
Oh, I know.
Blah.
Yeah.
so big.
It's what?
Blah. It's just so.
It's so good. But oh my gosh, I always am gonna, like, I could be full, but I definitely have a pocket for, like, dessert. Always.
Yeah.
I have to, like, my dad and I always have to have something sweet, like, after we eat. Like, whatever it is.
Yeah,
It's like,
if I have something sweet, I have to have some black coffee to kind of balance the bitterness.
No.
Yeah, dude.
No.
Yes. Like, we had carrot cake for Austin's birthday, and it
That
was
sounds so good.
very sweet,
Yeah.
and the best thing with it was just hot black coffee, strong black coffee. Just the bitterness of it mixed with the sweetness of everything.
See, who was saying Austin that he
Austin
can't, like,
said-
have coffee and...
Austin said he can't have dessert and coffee at the same time.
Yeah, I'm the same way. Like, I can't eat and have, some, like,
'Cause
coffee at the same time.
He says that it just kind of it takes away from it.
The coffee takes away from all the
I
taste.
think it complements it.
Coffee takes away, and the fact that you like say that and you have like I put a ton of sweetener and whatever in mine, and still I can't do it.
No, the best compliment for it is almost like a chocolatey coffee. Because when it's dark, when it's super dark and rich and
Yeah.
bold like this,
Yeah.
it almost has kind of a chocolatey tone to it in the back. Like it's really bitter up front, but when the back, when it goes down and you're breathing like your breath after you've been drinking it, it's almost chocolatey.
Notes.
Yeah, well, I didn't want to say that because I didn't want to come off like
No.
this guy that I'm not. Because I mean, I do consider myself a black coffee connoisseur. Honestly, like I think I
You've
can
had
really say
sludge coffee
because I really have had the darkest, the blackest of coffees,
Yeah.
and I can now say I'm a connoisseur.
Okay.
And I am very proud of that. I'm very proud of my black coffee heritage because I started drinking that very young.
All right.
But yeah, you know, isn't Texas like as a state just kind of insane?
Yeah, because you can drive like 10 hours and still be in Texas.
Well, that's a thing. But like you grew up in like every other state that wasn't Texas. So
Calm
like
down.
how different is it? Like how like actually because I've been like it's weird for me to say that it's crazy because like I've been living in it basically all my life. I mean, I kind of grew up in Alabama a little bit
right.
when I was younger, but
Well, it definitely has like initially. Oh, okay. Like it has like the stereotypical Texas. Like when you're come from New Orleans to here, I was like, oh my gosh. Like it was like I was hearing y'all every 2 seconds. I was turning around, someone had like a cowboy hat on. I was seeing boots, and I was like, I am never gonna be that person. Like I'm never gonna get boots. I'm never.
Meanwhile, they're in your closet right
Meanwhile,
now.
there are boots in my closet.
Yeah.
I'm like never gonna go to like these like the dance halls or whatever they call them, whatever they are.
Meanwhile, you go to Harry's with me.
Yeah. But it's very like culture. It's like its own culture.
Well, it's. I mean, we're basically our own country.
Yeah.
If we wanted to, and I know this was like not a concern, but it was a real possibility before or around the time Trump got elected. Mm-hmm. But I think it was at the tail end, the last term of Obama, when all the stuff about him being like a globalist came out. Mm-hmm. When he was trying to propose one global government, mm-hmm. which is in Revelation as like a sign of, the coming of Christ. Mm-hmm. And I'm not saying there's people out there that take that way too far.
Yeah.
But it just came out that he was a big proponent of a one world government. He was a globalist. And when all that stuff started coming out towards the end of his second term, mm-hmm. Texas was like, yo, we're going to secede from this. Because we started out as our own republic for years.
Right.
We literally like the Texas Rangers, like the baseball team. You know what they're like named after? Mm-mm. They're named after actual Texas Rangers. It's a branch of our like police.
Oh. Like
the Texas Rangers, like state rangers.
Yeah.
There's some other like Alaska has their rangers up there, but it's a derivative of ours. So, but what it was, like the first Texas Rangers were just, complete savages. They're savages. So this land, the land of Texas, was owned by the Comanches. Mm-hmm. That's the native tribe that lived there. We're going history right now, right? Yeah, I learned about this today while I was doing differential equations. Yeah, I learned about this today as I was doing different. Oh, I knew about it, but I heard it again.
Oh, okay.
So it's on my mind. So the Comanches were the biggest tribe that lived in this land. Mm-hmm. The Texas Rangers, and think about this, is kind of messed up, but the Texas Rangers grew like these people, fought with like spears and arrows on horseback. Mm-hmm. So what the Texas Rangers did, instead of using more advanced weaponry, and I'm sure they did sometimes, but they grew out their hair. Mm-hmm. to look like the Comanche. They developed, basically more advanced style of Comanche style fighting. And they would use bow and arrow, they would use spear, they had long just hair. They were on horseback, and they just beat the crap out of the Comanches and took the land over. They just completely flipped the land. Whether or not, you agree with that, whatever, I don't care. I'm just saying it is a feat of humanity, And so that's what the Texas Rangers, those were the first Texas Rangers, just savages.
Savajes.
Yeah, and so that's sort of like our cop special forces still to this day. Like the Texas Ranger, if you get pulled over by a ranger, it's a bigger deal. They got it looks like the Corps uniforms. Yeah. And they got like the solid brimmed hat. They look like drill sergeants.
That's when you pee yourself.
That's when you're like, these dudes can mess me up.
Yeah, for sure. Should I take off running now?
Yeah. Now they're less savage. They're more, but those guys are crazy. So I think inherently Texans, like native Texans, just have this attitude of like, I don't give a crap what the rest of the country, the rest of the world's doing.
Sure. Yeah.
Like, we are our own thing.
Yes.
We have our own little world here.
It's something else.
We have listen to this, okay? The Texas economy, obviously these are numbers from before the coronavirus thing, but I bet it's still the case, even now. The Texas economy, just Texas, is better than basically 95% of all Eastern countries. Like all European, all Eastern countries.
Good.
The only one I think is like Dubai, China,
Right.
and those. I mean, countries in the east
That-
that are
yeah.
way better.
Yeah.
But Texas is blowing out like France, Italy. You know, just I mean, you would think these countries, you know, would be superstars.
Right.
But the state of Texas is blowing them out of the water.
I'm telling you, Texas is something else. It's its own thing.
I mean, we could literally survive if we.
Oh, for sure.
I mean, we have the Rangers. All of we already have the bases there. I mean, San Antonio has multiple military bases. All we need is people with guns that come up. And you would be. I guarantee you that there would be multiple. I mean, hundreds of these retired special ops, dudes. That live in Texas, and they're like, "Oh, we're seceding."
All right.
Oh hell yeah,
They
brother!
come
We're
up-
gonna get up on horseback, and we're
Out of
gonna.
nowhere.
They just show up to Lackland Air Force Base in San Antonio and be like, "Hey, I'd
We're
like to
ready."
apply for general, please." I know what I've seen live combat. I was a Navy SEAL. Went through 6 tours. I know what I'm doing. I know what it means to kill somebody and
Hope
protect.
that doesn't happen.
Yeah, I mean, so we could do it.
All to say,
I think
in
we should
conclusion-
do it. I think we should do it.
Of course
We
you
could do it.
Okay.
We definitely
We
could
could
do it.
do it. Whether we should do it, I don't know.
Yep. And we have the same sort of republic structure as the federal government. Slightly. It's slightly different.
Mm-hmm.
But I actually like our government better than the federal government. It's better. It's structured better.
Mm-hmm.
There's you still got a Congress and a Senate, but the executive branch has way less power than the federal executive branch, and that's how it's supposed to be. Everything's done through legislation,
Mm-hmm.
in our government. That's what it's supposed to be. We have more emphasis on state senators than we do our governor. Like when I mean, obviously there was Beto O'Rourke and Senator Cruz, but they were running for a Senate seat for Texas. There was more drama about that than our own governor. There are our own There are people getting in just crazy Instagram and Twitter political battles that we knew our age about Beto and versus Cruz.
I was gonna say I remember
For that
hearing
Senate
about
seat.
That. Yeah.
That got more publicity than our own governor.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody cared about our governor being elected.
Who's that? They're like, who?
Yeah. So, but yeah, I mean, I do like ours
All to
better.
say
We really
Texas.
could do it. Shout out to Texas.
We live in Texas.
Yeah.
We should.
Shout out to Texas. It's a great state. Texas, come on the show.
Oh,
Yeah.
welcome.
Texas, welcome to the throne room. I was listening. I was driving back from work yesterday, and I listened to like older episodes.
Mm-hmm.
We've gotten so much better. I've gotten so much better. Like the first couple episodes of the Throne Room are like literally. You can go back and listen to the first episode of the Throne Room. I think it's called like the quarterback question, and we talked about whether or not Jalen Hurts was going to start over Tua 2 years ago, 3 years ago, 2 years ago.
You
And-
cringed.
It was so bad.
What part of it was bad?
Number one, here's how ghetto my setup was. It was in that same room where I went crazy in. Okay. It was I still have the mic. It was a snowball. It was a Yeti snowball. It was just a little mic that you're supposed to use right here. But I put it in the middle of a room with like 4 guys around just that one speaker far away.
Uh-huh.
And so the audio, and I turned up the gain all the way so it would just draw everything in the room. Suck all the noise out of the room. That audio just felt like just so ear rapey. It was just so loud and sharp and just piercing.
Yes.
So it was terrible. And
Yes.
I would always scream at every episode, which I recently stopped doing.
Did you?
Yeah, I did. No, I did. Because in the beginning, I was yelling, just welcome back. I was screaming. And it's fun to watch. Some of the episodes, if you just listen to the intros of them, it's kind of comical. Mm-hmm. And it is funny. Like,
yeah.
I'll listen back to, like, the beginnings of, like, older episodes.
You
and
have
I'll
4
be
boys talking into a mic. What do you think is going to happen?
like, no, I'm just talking about the intros.
Yeah, because you start it.
Yeah, just
and you
welcome
were all
back.
just talking. Yeah.
Well, yeah, but yeah, we've gotten a lot better. And so I listened to like an older one, and then I listened to last week's one, and it's like night and day. I mean, it's like,
Yep.
So rolling slow progress. We got 30 subscribers on YouTube now.
We're getting there.
Yeah. Well, we're in, so we're doing good. Last episode got 108 or 13 views, and then, or no, the one with when we were last here, we got like 100 something views, and then last week's got 40 something. So.
What was last week?
It was just me and Austin.
Okay.
We asked ourselves here's a question for you to wrap it up.
What would you tell your...
Yeah, you listened to it, right? What would you tell yourself freshman year of high school?
Whew.
Knowing what you know now.
Gosh, dang.
I know, I think I know what you would tell yourself. There's going to be a kid named Alex King.
Oh my god.
Start dating him immediately.
No.
Yeah.
Should have listened to Nathaniel sooner. Gosh, I don't even know.
Shout out Nathaniel, come on the show. My brother.
I don't know. See, that's something I have to like really think about. Like, I have no idea.
Well, you know what I said.
Because that's a weird thing, because freshman year, I was at a different school.
Yeah.
And then I flipped sophomore year. So it's like, those are two totally different things. Because freshman year, I would have been like...
Two totally different people?
No, like two totally different situations. Like freshman year, I would have been like, you need to focus on school, stop hanging around certain people. Or like sophomore year, it would have been like getting more involved or something like that.
Okay, well.
Expand your horizons.
Okay, well then you came to SAC sophomore year, so what would you say sophomore year? How about that?
Expand your horizons.
What does that mean?
Like, don't be so like worried about like what people like are gonna think about you if you like choose to like live a certain way.
Got you.
Yeah. Because high school, everyone's like thinking that like, oh my gosh, I have to like fit in with like a certain group.
It's very cliquey.
Right.
I think junior, even at least it started in junior year, our whole class kind of got loosened up.
Yeah.
It became way less cliquey.
Yeah.
People started integrating themselves into groups where they really didn't.
And by
used to be
our senior year, there were like, it was like weird mixes of like people that you wouldn't have thought
senior
talked.
year we were we were all very close, and we all just sort of mishmashed together.
Yeah.
You could go up and talk to anybody.
That was pretty
There
cool.
was only one group of kids. Well, I say that. There was like two groups of kids that just didn't want to mingle with anybody.
Right.
And
they had their
nobody really
clique.
liked them. But
Right.
other than that, the other 70 people, 60
Our
70
class,
people.
graduating class of 70.
Yeah, there was only like 10 people, groups of 5 that
Yeah.
just didn't like anybody else.
Yeah.
And nobody really liked not that we didn't really like them, but we just didn't really get along.
They did
that
their
well.
own thing.
Yeah, they were on a whole nother world.
Yeah.
Everybody else just kind of, all the cliques just kind of just intermingled.
Because I think at that point you're like, okay, everyone's going off to different places.
Yeah,
like,
at that
really?
point you're like, this whole cliquey thing is stupid.
Right.
I mean, we're all adults now.
Right.
Basically, we're not.
No, I still don't know what the heck I'm doing.
No.
So.
Okay, what would you tell yourself last year, knowing what you know now? That's a good question too. That's a good question.
Last year.
This time last year.
Get a job.
Or the beginning of freshman year of college. How about that? Get a job is a good one.
Yeah. Probably been like look into internships like sooner.
Really?
Yeah. And the thing was like I looked into them, but like I really didn't put in effort because I was like, I'm not like worried about it.
Yeah.
Like I'm like freshman year, I'm just gonna like enjoy my first year of college.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's a big adjustment, so you didn't want to like
Right. I didn't want to stack that on top of like trying to figure out.
bog yourself down, yeah.
What would you tell your freshman year self? You were one handsome looking.
No. Well, I mean, I told myself in
The gym.
I would tell. Well, no, I was already doing that. That's when
Okay.
I kind of started it.
Okay.
Well, not really. No, I started this time last year. And last year in the spring is when I started working out seriously. Because in the fall I didn't, and I got skinny, really skinny in the fall. At the end, like when I came home for Thanksgiving, like I just was like those pictures of that
Skinny
you have
mini.
of me. Yeah, I was tiny.
Yeah.
You know, I was probably like, you know, dropped down maybe under 160, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah.
And now I'm like over 180.
Yay.
So, but no, I think I would tell myself at the beginning. Oh, I would tell myself that don't listen to anybody that says you can't do it. Because in the beginning of freshman year, there was still people in my life that were being like, "This is too hard for you.
Yeah.
You can't make it through this.
Right.
You can't pass Cal 1 and be taking chemistry
Right.
and be taking a, you know, like a Python course and another class." And then when I did it and I had really good grades,
You're like, what was that?
yeah, and then
What's going on?
you know, I'm in calculus 2 now, which is the hardest calculus, and I got a B in that, and people were still saying that I couldn't get it done.
Yeah.
You know? And so it's whatever. I would tell myself, do not listen to anybody that says you can't do something. You are 100% in control of the outputs in your life.
Mm-hmm.
If you now, I say that with a grain of salt, obviously. Like, there's some things that you just can't control, but
Right.
grades are one of them for the most part. Like, 99% of a grade that you get is determined by how much work you put into
The
it.
effort, yeah.
If even if it's a harder class, even if you have more workload than another class that gives you the exact same credits, like if a certain professor just gives out more work than another professor in the exact same class, your grade is still 100% determined by how much work you put forth in it.
I just fought back a yawn.
Me too.
It came forward and I was like,
Yeah.
oh no. Okay.
But yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
So I would tell myself, don't listen to anybody, no matter how close they are to you, no matter who they are in your life. Don't listen. You are 100% in control, and it's very, very possible to make it, to get through the weed out classes.
Right.
And
And
I'm
here you
in a
are.
whole nother. Yeah, well, now I'm in a whole nother round of weed out classes.
Yeah.
They call it the mechanics train.
Good.
Mm-hmm. Statics, material mechanics or something, and then dynamics is in the next 2 semesters. So in the next year, I'll be taking dynamics and material science or something like that. I don't know.
That sounds disgusting.
Not gonna be great. Statics is kicking my butt, though. I will say. Statics is kicking my butt, and it is a hard professor. It is a hard class, but it's just kicking my butt.
Yep.
So
There's always that one class.
yeah, that class is gonna be rough.
Yep.
It's so hard, man.
Man.
Yeah,
Dog.
dog,
Bro.
bro.
Hate that.
Yeah, it's whatever. You know, differential equations is hard too, but I like learning about that more than I do statics. I do really enjoy truss analysis. That's the only thing I like doing. I really enjoy summing forces. I hate moments. I hate summing moments. It's like this weird version of torque.
Mm-hmm.
And it's so hard to wrap your head around, like, which part of the rigid body that you should take moments about.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't make any sense. And then the even worse thing is taking moments about an axis of a rigid body. I have no idea still. I mean, I could have a good guess of where to start, to where to choose my position vector on the rigid body. But again, I mean, that's tough.
You do know this is going in one ear and out the other, right?
Somebody knows what I'm talking
Okay.
about. I bet Duncan Clayton knows exactly what I'm talking about. He's a physicist. He's studying physics, and he puts comment suggestions every time I ask for it.
Okay.
And they're very good topic suggestions.
Okay.
Shout out Duncan. Come on the show. DM me. You still haven't done it. We want you on the show. We're going to figure something out. I want you to be
Video
on the
chat.
show. We're going to have a really deep conversation about what is going on
And
in
he
our
will
world.
listen.
He will do it. Yeah.
Yes.
So statics is tough, but I really enjoy truss analysis because that's really what I'm going to be doing. You know, as a civil engineer, I'm going to be building bridges, you know, for the most part. Anything else is more mechanical, I feel like, you know. So yeah, I mean, bridges is, you know, what I'm, if anything, I'll be doing. I don't know if I'll be doing land development or transportation or whatever, but truss analysis is fun though. Because it's like a puzzle, you know.
Right.
You do method of joints, and it's like, what are the forces in this one joint, you know, in the X and Y direction, and then you take what you know from that and you apply it to another joint in this truss, and then what does that look like? And then but that's the fun part. That's the only thing that I found really fun. Yeah, it is. It's like what's going on, and you can kind of visualize if there's a force being applied at this point in the truss. How would that, like, what are the tensions? You kind of visualize how this thing is starting to, like, bend, you know what I mean?
No.
Like, if you have, like, a bridge, right, you can kind of start to, and you just walked or had a giant weight just right in the middle, you can kind of start to visualize, like, the bowing of it, you know what I mean? And you can prove that mathematically. Okay. Or even better, have you seen those 18-wheelers that kind of, like, if they don't have anything on them, they're I guess beds, right? Or they're
truck beds.
Yeah, but the long 18-wheelers ones.
Yes.
The one that carry huge loads without a cart.
Mm-hmm.
Their bed is kind of like bowed like up. You've seen that.
You've
seen that.
I've never noticed that.
It's because when they have loads on it, that metal bends straight. If it was already straight, it would bend this way, and you'd have a problem.
I've never noticed that.
Yeah, that's why.
All right. Also,
in trucks, like the base model truck, before you get it lifted, before anything, the bed is always higher than the cab.
Do you think I could get my Mazda lifted?
Yes, you can.
Would it look nice?
No. You'd have to get some
those big
tires
monster tires.
Yeah, you'd have to get tires, and you get like a snorkel on it or something.
Put LED lights.
Yeah. You should.
In my Mazda.
You should.
Sick.
Yeah. I think we can wrap it up. I think we didn't really solve any of the world's problems, did we?
Do we ever?
No.
Okay.
We're getting close.
Well.
Did you spotted your Instagram?
Yes, I did.
Okay, go follow the Throne Room on Instagram and Twitter. You'll find my personal account, king__Alex__. You can find Alex at Alex E. Grace. What's the numbers? It's not important. She's found there somewhere. You can find her. I promise. Go become a patron at patreon.com/thethrone, and we got 3 tiers on there for you. It's a really good thing. We got bonus content every other week, every month, really. And it's a good time. We have a lot of cool stuff on there for you. And it's worth it, I promise. You help put me through college. So, also, I forgot. Oh, go subscribe on YouTube. If you're watching this on YouTube, please subscribe.
Like and subscribe.
Share with your boys and your girls and your honeys and your bunnies. Whew, that was fire. That was so dope.
That was absolutely disgusting.
That was the best part of the show.
So gross.
Yeah, that was the best part.
Your honeys and your bunnies.
Your boys and your girls and your honeys and your bunnies. Your mommies and
Please
your daddies.
Help this kid.
Yeah.
Please help this kid.
Thanks so much for watching or listening. Go tell your grandpa about this. Oh, also go on Apple Podcast, the purple icon, or iTunes or whatever, and give us a review. Give us 5 stars and a review. Doesn't matter what you say. It just helps the show progress. Thanks and gig 'em. You know what I mean? I'm gonna go home and sleep. All right.